You are valid. Everyone's valid. Everyone's absolutely valid. Your emotions, your feelings, anything you're going through, completely valid. And don't let anyone make you feel like you're not valid, because you are. If you have a problem that feels or seems insignificant or small, it's most likely not. Have you ever, if you think about it, you've got a snowball that you've just picked up, wee tiny snowball. Put it on top of a hill, you roll it down, it's going to get bigger and bigger until this big boulder of a snowball. And maybe it's going to smash into a tree at the bottom and explode. This is the exact same for your mental health. It is. And I will give you an example of this. Say a common example of a small and insignificant problem that most teens and young people will go through is acne/spots and pimples. You get what I'm on about. There's loads of words for it, so I'm just going to say spots because that's what I call them. Say you have spots and they start off around here. By the way, if you're getting spots here, it's apparently because of your diet. Just putting that out there. Anyway, if you're getting start getting spots here around your mouth and maybe your chin, you know those annoying spots there? Yeah, the yellow ones are gross. Say you start off with them and you speak to your friend or maybe your mum or your dad and you're like, oh, I'm really bothered by these spots. They're a wee bit nippy and I can't really hide them because they're on my chin. Obviously you can't hide them that way. You can't do this all day because you look a bit silly doing that as well, so you can't really do that. You can't do that. I mean, you can, but it's going to make them worse. You know what I'm saying? So you're talking about the spots. So you're telling people, I'm bothered by this. And your friend's going to be like, oh, I get them too. I'm not bothered about it. And your mum and dad are like, oh, I had them when I was younger. I grew out of it. So you will too. So what if you're going to grow out of it? This is a problem that's happening now. And you're bothered by it, rightfully so, because they hurt. Anyway, but because that's not going to get rid of the spots, is it? People telling you, oh, don't worry about it. You're going to worry about it anyway. That's why you spoke to them in the first place. So if they just brush off or dismiss this problem you have, it's still going to be the back of your head because they've done nothing. They've just told you, don't worry. So it's going to be the back of your head. It is. It's going to sit there and it's going to grow and nip. And because you're stressing about it, what's a common thing that happens to you when you're stressed? You get more spots. You get them here, you'll get them here, in between here, and everywhere. Spots absolutely everywhere. And they get red, bright red, and you get rashy, itchy, sore, and because they're itchy, you start to scratch, and then you might scratch one off and it starts to bleed. Even more pain, and then you're getting scars. It's turned into something big, hasn't it? Maybe still not as big as what some people will think, but it's a problem for you, obviously. Because it's on your face. And this will make you feel maybe a bit insecure. But oh, I should be hiding my face might make you wear more makeup. Let me say that again. Make you wear more makeup. Put it all over, and then that's going to make it worse. And then you're like, when people are trying to invite you out, and you're like, no, I don't want to. And they're like, why? And you're like, oh, I don't want to. But deep down inside, you know it's because you've got this acne and spots that don't want to disappear. Nothing's working for you. And it's painful. You don't want to be seen because you feel uncomfortable. You feel quite ugly. I've been through this myself. You don't want to be seen by anyone because these spots are such a huge problem. Now, that's just one example. There's plenty other examples, but that's an example of a small problem. A small problem that's turned into something big, and it's went a wee bit downhill where you don't want to be seen by people and you hide away. And this does happen because it happens with a lot of teenagers, or they start to feel very insecure. And when someone feels insecure, they start to act insecure. Like they're more quiet, they don't do as much, they're not as active, and depending on the person, insecurity can lead to habits, and habits can be binge eating, which will obviously, eating is never healthy food. No one ever binge eats healthy food. It's always crisps, chocolate, and sweeties. And so your face is going to break out even more because of the sugar and salt that's getting put in you. And that's just natural. It happens to a lot of people. But that's just an example of keeping something that seems small to yourself is going to get bigger. And this can happen with basically anything. Another one would be, say you're an artist, you like to draw, and you're starting off with a new medium, like starting off with charcoal. Say you're starting off with charcoal, and you can't get a hang of it, you're getting a wee bit frustrated, and so you want to speak about it to people, and you'll get stuff that's like, oh, just use something else, or practice makes perfect, and though it does, sometimes you just want to complain or vent about stuff, but people don't let you complain or vent about things that seem small or insignificant. They'll call it a first world problem, and so what if it is? Complain about it, it's healthy, it gets you out your system, and it makes you more motivated to do this drawing and practice more with your charcoal. If you complain about it and you get some positive feeling from it because you're like, whatever, I'm going to try again. You get that kind of feeling because you've got that relief, the release of complaining about something, and so now you can do it again. So always speak about your problems or they will get bigger. They will. Honestly, they will. And this works, again, for almost everything. I can't think of something it doesn't work for. Just don't keep things in. Speak to people. But I'm not naive to the fact that people will probably still push it off as something that's like, oh, whatever. And that's when you have to think to yourself, it's a problem. But don't think in your head, just because these people think it's not a problem, don't think to yourself oh, it's not a problem then. You know it's a problem. And maybe you can work on it yourself somehow. There's loads of self-help articles out there. You can go to therapy, maybe. I know therapy is not available for everyone though, so there's going to be something out there. Depending on what your problem is, you can find help. There's help for everything. I believe so anyway. You can maybe find a really trustworthy friend and speak to them about it and explain to them, I know this might seem small to you, but it's big to me, and I want to speak about it to make myself feel better. And then that's when you find out who really understands you as well. And by the way, just because someone is your problem is small doesn't mean they need to be kicked out of your life. They just don't see things the same way as you do, and that's not always a bad thing. That's just how they see the world. But you don't need to kick them out of your life for that, unless they are genuinely really toxic and they make you feel bad for these things. Then perhaps think about it. But the whole point of this is just to let you know that you're valid, and all your problems or your little nagging little insecurities in your head, they're all completely valid. You're allowed to speak about them. You can vent, you can complain. It's fine. It's healthy, and it's the right thing to do. So yeah, always speak about your problems. They will get bigger. If you do not, they will snowball. And like I was saying with it'll tumble to the bottom of the hill and get bigger and bigger and bigger and eventually explode. That is usually when it leads to proper, I don't want to say breakdowns, but I can't think of another word, so we're going to use the word breakdown anyway. I'm probably wrong. I'm not a professional. This is just me ranting. But yeah, don't explode. Speak about your problems. Also, another thing, I'm getting off topic, but I don't care. This is something I want to mention. Spots and acne and stuff is a sign of, it can be caused by your mentality. So if you're stressed, you're going to get spots. What's another thing that happens when you get stressed? Your hair might fall out, or it'll go grey. What's another thing that happens when you get stressed? You get sore stomachs. So that can sometimes lead to diarrhea, maybe throwing up. Some people get rashes when they're angry. Some people cry when they're angry. Lots of things can happen when they're angry, stressed. So your body can go under physical problems if you are not dealing with your mental problems. That's how anxiety works. If you're feeling anxious, depending on the person again, anxiety can feel physical. My anxiety physicals are my stomach. In high school, I used to have such really bad bad stomachs, that I would be sick in the morning. But obviously because I hadn't ate, it would just be the acid, the bile, and it's disgusting, it's burning, it's sore. But I still went to school anyway because I knew it was anxiety. But that just shows you how your mental health can affect your physical health. That's how important mental health is. Your mental health is just the same as physical, because your mental does turn into physical. So take care of yourself. You're valid. Speak about your problems. And if you can't speak about your problems, validate yourself by knowing this is a problem and knowing it's a big thing for you. Do not, I don't know the word, don't self-hate. No hating yourself because something seems small to other people. You know it's a big thing. You can work on it. I believe in you. Believe in yourself. You're valid.